So we've got a treat for you guys. We've got a treat for you guys. People have asked me quite a few times, like, Okin, what is this obsession with Bitcoin and Bitcoin and Bitcoin and every day it's Bitcoin? In 2019, I was a broke artist. We were in Rolling Stone magazine, top 100 hip hop songs of all time from BBC. But I was a broke artist, and I was broke because COVID happened, not because I didn't know how to make money. COVID happened, and everything shut down, right? We weren't able to go anywhere. We weren't able to do anything. And I started this Bitcoin thing, checking it out, going down the rabbit hole, as we say. I didn't know how to write any lines of code or use terminal before 2019. I didn't use it at all. And then Bitcoin is how I learned. And why I'm saying all of this is it led me to a way to earn Bitcoin. So I haven't bought Bitcoin since I fell down the rabbit hole at the beginning. I think I did it once. And then I got hired by a company that actually pays you in Bitcoin for the work that you do. That company's name is Start9 Labs. And at Start9 Labs, 3 years ago, I met a guy that I actually only met for the first time in person, but yesterday, day before yesterday, but we've been working together for 3 years, right? We work for the same company, we do customer support, and Start9 Labs is about sovereign computing, how you would run your own servers. You know when they say the cloud is just somebody else's computer, they're not lying. It is literally somebody else's computer that you're accessing. Start9 is saying, run your own cloud. This is how you do it, and they've made it extremely easy. So I won't be the one doing the presentation. It will be Alvaro over here, or Cryptosquid, sorry. It's Cryptosquid that's doing the Start9 presentation for you. And there are surprises that nobody outside of this room, besides Start9 staff, have seen what he's going to show you. Everybody's been waiting 2 years to see this product that is coming out, well, hopefully in the next month or two for you guys to be able to test. Soon is what we always say. So please put your hands together for Cryptosquid, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Okin. All right, guys, well, let's start first. Very easy. For those of you who don't know about the company, Start9 is a company that makes a operating system designed for servers. And this is for you to have your own data, your own Bitcoin node, anything you want to have. Instead of depending on a third party, you would have it on your own device at your home or a family member or whoever you want. If you travel around the world, you can actually access it remotely. That's the nice thing about this. It doesn't matter if you're there or not. I can actually access my own server from all the way here, and my server is all the way back in Spain, so there's no issue. I'll show you later, actually. So yes, why do you want to have your own server? Or your own node in this case? Because having your own Bitcoin node, we've heard about other speakers talk about this already. I mean, having your own node gives you the advantage of checking the ultimate truth. If you receive Bitcoin, if you send Bitcoin, if you don't use your own personal node, you're failing in terms of privacy, and they can actually trick you. You can actually be shown a transaction which is fake. If you don't check it yourself, that's why we always say in this world, don't trust, verify. Having your own node is one of those ways you verify. Then, for example, I've mentioned that you can keep your own data. We have a version of Nextcloud, which is a implementation which is designed to maybe keep you away from things like Google Drive. In the mainstream use of those tools, those are really big tech, and it actually filters everything you put on there. All your images, everything goes through their AI training algorithms, and this is how you get away from that. This is fully private and your own. Only you and people what you give access to can get in there. It's your own personal vault. You keep all your secrets in there. Keep it away from prying eyes. And then one of the most important things we actually provide users is a password manager called Vault Warden. This is based on Bitwarden, if you guys know about it. But instead of having to depend on Bitwarden itself as a company and trusting them, you take their technology, which is great, but you keep the only copy. So there's actually no way for someone else to access it, except for yourself, of course. And then why? Why would you do this? I mean, go through all these steps, things like that. I mean, we're actually living in a world which every single day is getting more and more dystopian. Big companies, governments, they all try to grab as much control as they can. It's slipping through their fingers. When you actually see all the technology we can provide with the open source space, where you can actually be free. Talk whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to transact. There's no way for them to keep track of you if you do the things correctly. And here, for example, we have some of the services we have available. As you can see, it's pretty much everything within the space. There's Bitcoin-related nodes like Bitcoin Core. We also have knots as well, for those of you who care to choose one or the other. But yes, I mean, there's a whole range of applications. We call them services. Here you see, there's a whole host of them. I'm not really going to go step by step into each one of them, because if you guys have more questions after, let's not waste time on this. But yes, the whole range of applications, services are there. And then you actually have to keep in mind, we keep two marketplaces separate. There's our own, which was the ones I showed before, and then there's the community registry. These are other services which are done by outside developers and kept by them. Here you can see things like Bitcoin Nuts, as well as different other things. Like, for example, you can have the dojo. Not many people have spoken about this at the conference, really. I don't know why, but for me, this is really important. The Samurai Dojo right there will give you access to using your own Ashigaru wallet on your phone, fully private and decentralized within your own infrastructure. So yeah, that's really, really important right there.
Is that still online? Is that not switched off with the other thing?
No, because that's your own. Yeah. And of course, there's a whole range of other things. I mean, that's why we provide such a wide ecosystem. This is really not only a Bitcoin node. A lot of people think about Start9 as a Bitcoin node, but no, it's a full-on server. You can have your whole digital life on here. And here, just if you want to go to the website, see all the documentation, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, I mean, we make the docs so you guys can follow step by step. It's all very easy. If you have any issues at all, I mean, we're there most of the day. We set up chats on Matrix, and we have a community forum. Yes, and the community forum as well, you can ask any questions you want. The Matrix chat is a paid chat right now. We had a Telegram channel, but it was full of scammers. It was crazy, so yeah. And this is my contact info if you guys need to ask me any personal questions about the system or anything like that. I'll provide this later on as well. And yeah, now I'm going to do the setup, which is what you guys really are here for. If you guys want to follow along, if you have a laptop, I don't see any laptops here except for, yeah, but if you went to this website, it would open up the GitHub page where you can actually download the StartOS ISO, and from there you would flash it onto a device. Either a mini PC, an old laptop. The main thing, if you want to use it for Bitcoin and especially Lightning, you would need at least 16 gigs of RAM, because the lower RAM you have, it's going to give you a lot of issues. You're not going to be able to keep up to date, especially a lot of people used to use Raspberry Pis. And those are still good for the other services, such as a file server, things like that. But if you want to use it for Bitcoin, Raspberry Pi is out of the question, totally. You'll have a very bad time. All right. Well, this will take you to here where you would download, okay? And once you do that, you can actually flash it. So here I'm going to go with you step by step on how to flash things on a virtual machine. This is very, very easy. Okay, flashing. For very basic, you take the ISO, which is the operating system itself. You flash it, you burn it, or you copy it onto a USB drive, Okay, that's what we call flashing. And then once you do that, you transfer it onto the server, onto the laptop, whatever it is, and you do what I'm about to do here. All right, let's run it. And this here is actually the installation process. It's pretty simple. Anybody can do it. We have step-by-step instructions, but you don't really need them. If you've used a computer before, it's really easy.
What type of machine should you have for this?
As I said, anything works, even old units, old PC, anything like that, as long as you have enough power and RAM. Yes, that's the main thing.
So you don't actually need to buy a Start9 server itself?
You do not, yes. I did not mention that we sell servers ourselves, but that's in order to like finance our operation and things like that. But you can actually install this on your own. This is a fully open source system, so yeah.
So I could just have an old laptop, put this on.
That's correct. Yes.
What is the minimum requirements for a whole laptop? Like processing power? So you said 60
Yeah, I mean, the main thing for us is, yeah,
i5, i3,
anything would work. I mean, if you go too crazy old, it won't. But I mean, it's pretty, it doesn't need a lot of resources. It just depends on the services. Because some services do require more than others. Bitcoin is the big one right there. Because if you use it, especially when you're doing the first block download, that uses a lot of resources, especially RAM. And if you don't have enough, it's going to choke and it's an issue. Yeah.
yeah, so, and then your storage or
Yes.
wise,
If you have storage, for example, 1 terabyte would work for blockchain. If you want to have it for more things, such as keeping data, pictures, anything you want to keep on there, 2 terabytes would be fine. You're set for a long time. I have users who have 2, to have 4. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. If you want to go full on, SSD would be the better option, especially for Bitcoin and Lightning. That right there is important because the fast transfer speed is very important.
so you'd be able to run the Stripe with the Bitcoin.
Yeah, not an issue. Well, here you are at the main menu. This is pretty self-explanatory. You choose your own language. Also, we have now switched to different languages. You can actually, it was only in English. Now there's a whole range of languages, which here you can see there's a lot. That's pretty great right there. A lot of people have been asking for that a long time. And you choose your keyboard layout, and then you're done. Pretty much, you choose where you're installing, and then where you keep the data, and just press continue, and it keeps on going. There you go. I mean, you don't need to be an engineer to do this. I mean, it's pretty simple. Yes? RAID can be done, but it could be a bit of a teething issue. If you have to sit there and choose the right drive, because actually StartOS it lets you choose 2 drives at this point, but you can't use both for data. It uses one for the OS and the other one for the data. Yes, backups are separate. You can actually set it up to be on your network drive, or you can actually plug in a USB SSD. That's the best option. I always recommend backups at least on 3 SSDs. I mean, that's extreme, but you would keep 2 at your location and a third and a second place. That way if fire, flood, or who knows. I mean, you always have to think ahead in these kind of things. Okay, well here you would choose start fresh or restore from backup in case you ran into an issue, who knows. You enter a password. Please use a very secure password. If not, everything is encrypted with your password, so that's important right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. As you can see, it doesn't let me do a bad password. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. At the very least, 12 characters. But I would really encourage you to do more than that and keep it on a password manager. Yes. And as you can see, this is all fully automated. Because a lot of people think that, yeah, there you go. And we have a nice screen there. And now all you have to do is open it up. And that's pretty easy to do with a virtual machine. At this point, you would actually access it from another device. Your server is done. You would actually access it through your cell phone, another computer, anything you have at home, or, and let's see. In this case, you would actually use, let me just open it here, which is already set up. Version install, there you go. And you would run it here, where it's actually opening up. There you go. It's actually booting right now. It's pretty easy. I mean, there's actually no issues running this on many devices. It really works well. And there you go. Let's see if it loads rapidly. Yeah, there you are. At this point, you would access it on a browser. You would go to start.local and do the setup. At this point, you would do start fresh or recover, depending on if you're doing it from a backup or not. In this case, we start fresh. The device. Yeah, this is always fun for live demos. Just give me 2 seconds, because live demos are always fun, especially when you're running it on different devices. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we have to restore. No worries. You guys have any questions still? Nothing at all? It's all clear?
Just to understand what you've done, you set it up on your computer or Waterfront, and now you getting access from other devices to that Waterfront.
Yes, you set it up at home, and then you access from another device within your own network to set it up. Once it's done, you restart the server, and you get access to it from, let's see. Reiniciar. Yeah, live demos are always so fun. Yeah, I think it's going back to the install. 1 second. No, that's fine. The issue is that when you run it on a VM, as I'm doing right now, which you have to unplug the USB, like the virtual USB. That's always fun. Yeah, there you go. English, US English. It's doing the same thing again. Damn it.
Question, sorry.
Yes.
I mean, for this way of, you're installing it now on the virtual machine for the live demo and that sort of thing, right? So
Yeah.
if I've got a secondary machine, small little thing, it's got space on it, and I want to use that as my own server, I can now download on my normal laptop, put it into USB, the StarOS,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And then I plug that into my other machine that I'm going to be dedicating, and then I can just boot from the drive, or must I first?
You wouldn't boot it from the drive. You would boot the device itself. You would remove the USB, and it's already installed on there. It's like when you install Windows or Linux or whatever you want to do. You flash it from the USB, and then you remove it, and
And then it'll
just
run,
turn it on, and it works.
and then it'll run, and then I'll have StarOS
Yes.
running on
That's correct. It's fun how you test things right outside the room and it works, and then suddenly it does these things. It's fine, it's fine. There's always like these gremlins when you try to do live demos. It's fun, always. Da, 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 da. Damn it. Yeah, it's not easy. Especially with this VMware thing, it's kind of a pain. But I mean, what you're really going to see, which I'm not being able to show for some reason, is the setup screen, which is very simple. Just choose. And then once that creates, it creates its own address on your network. And then all you have to do is access the main UI, which is here. Just going to skip that step because it's not really working. And then you would access the server, which here it is. This right here is StartOS, all new 040, and the main UI. This here is all the services that are installed on the server. And you can actually first go to Marketplace. You would see this empty the first time you enter, but then you would go to the Marketplace, and you would see them here. Just choose whatever you want. You can install it. Just click on it, go to install. And this right here, people who haven't seen this before are not going to grasp how hard this has been and all the work that's gone into it. But this, I'm accessing my own server back at home through my own domain, as you can see up there. Oh yeah. That right there, up to this point, has been impossible. For standard users using a device like this, it was a lot of work getting it to function correctly. Because really, up to now, anytime you were away from home, you would have to access through Tor. And Tor works when it wants to. Let's just say it that way. It's very slow, it drops, it's not reliable. It's very private, but you can't depend on it for things like this.
And all of these, this is like an app store,
Yes,
and all the apps are open source.
that's correct. Everything here is no charge, open source. As you can see, some of them, everything is on here. You can choose whatever you want. It's very, very feature rich, let's say, yes.
And so it's not just for a Bitcoin node, you can run
Exactly.
anything else on it.
That's the main thing. Yeah, if you only want to use it for Bitcoin, no issue. Just choose Bitcoin Core, install it or not, and you can run it all the way. But if you want to do more with it and you have more disk space, let's say you want to keep your important pictures or anything. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's insane. Has a lot of different things. But here, for example, if I want to go to Nextcloud, Nextcloud is our substitute for Google Drive. And then you would open it up. Let me open it up here.
And so again, because OpenCloud is open source, it's a service you provide. It doesn't come with extra fees. If I've got 4 terabytes of space, I can use Nextcloud.
Exactly.
I don't have to pay you like I'm paying.
There's no payment. Yeah,
Payment because it's on your own server.
exactly.
Your own little
Since you self-host your own data, you are in control of everything. But the main thing when you do this, you take responsibility. Because for example, if for some reason you have no backups, which you should have done the first thing, backups, every single day, backups, because you never know. Let's hope not but there's always the possibility of something happening. There's news about volcanoes, earthquakes.
If your server goes down, whatever data is on there will be lost. Like,
If you don't have a backup, yes. You take responsibility. When you take control of your digital life, you have to be responsible. You have to keep backups. You have to know how to run things. That's the only thing that you need to really be very cognizant of. It's important. Because right there,
So if you're getting the sovereignty and the freedom and the privacy,
yes.
then actually go to it.
When you depend on a third party, you can go cry to them, say, oh my God, I lost my password, this and that. With this, you have to be a lot more responsible, let's say. But if you take easy steps, anybody can do it. And here you can see, this is my own Nextcloud. Well, on my test server, I don't have anything on there, but you can upload anything you want. And whatever size drive you have, you can fill it up through here. You can actually share links to anything. Like for example, if you have family photos, whatever, you just send the link to someone. If you set it up with what we call Start Tunnel, which is something I want to really mention, is how you can access without using Tor. This is all bouncing off of VPS, in my case in Germany, and then coming back here. And this is all hosted with my domain. Really, you can do it like this, or you can actually have an IP address and then a port number. There's both options. But this is a very easy way to share things, to have it accessible to the world. Not a lot of people might want to do this, but there's always options. That's the thing. Yes? It's, I believe that's going to be further down the line. Yeah, but there's I2P services already on the marketplace. Yeah. Yeah, just for access and stuff like that, that's still on the works, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For example, if I want to access this same thing, but on, let's say, the IP.port, that's just a different way to do it, really. For example, you can see here all the addresses that go to Nextcloud. It's nextcloud.cryptosquid, and then you can also go through an IP.port, which would be this one right here. And it takes you to the same place.
Yeah, because I'm running a node on the Start9 server,
Yeah.
right? And then I'll be able to receive incoming connections as well, right?
That's correct, yes. This is going to allow you to do a lot more than you could before. Because the main thing with Tor was a big pain point for a lot of people. They couldn't quickly access and use things as they should be. I mean, it's pretty, that's the main thing for us, to make it as easy for anybody to use. Because if you were a developer, engineer, you could always do these kind of things. You could have your own server, set it up at home. That's always been possible. But the standard person could never dream of having these things. This is like a connection between those two worlds. It's going to give you access to having your own devices that do everything for you in a very seamless and painless way. Yes, exactly. Also, the Wi-Fi here is not helping. So yeah, I mean, any questions I can help you out with? Any more?
Where do the packages come from? Debian themselves?
Well,
Debian repository?
the packages themselves are,
No, not those for the core OS.
oh, the core OS. StartOS is based on Debian, yes. But it's fully rebuilt from scratch. Yeah,
So you run your own repositories where
Yes,
you
yes.
fetch the packages from? Who maintains them?
this is all on our GitHub, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, so as far as I understand, it's just a flashy, more graphic Debian, basically a bit more hardened, but you could, if you have the knowledge, you're fine SSHing into your server.
Yes,
dealing with-
but that use case right there is why we built this,
to make it easier.
to make it easy for the standard user. If you are a very advanced user, a lot of them don't need this because you can already do it. But the standard person, how can they do it? They can't even dream about it. Yeah, they would depend on a third party like Google, like anybody else, to have their data, to share it. I mean, this is going to be a big breakthrough right there. Yeah.
I was going to ask, you've now made it so that you can reach your home server through your own domain
Yes,
instead of going through Tor.
that's correct.
Why? More convenient, faster?
More convenient and especially faster. It's so bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially if you're going to do a quick like query, like for example, if you go to Vault Warden to check your password, it's easy and that works through Tor. But if you want to upload files, if I say I want to upload a video I just made here, how would I do it over Tor? It would be insane. It would take forever if it doesn't drop it in the middle. Yeah. And right now through this, you can actually upload at your connection speed.
And then what are the security risks of going through your own domain? Like let's say, because now I'm just thinking, I've got domains, but they're hosted by other people.
Yes.
So now, how does that realm of should I be hosting domains myself or checking things?
In this case, this is all done through a VPS, which you can purchase non-KYC at all. I mean, there's a lot of them. This one I purchased in Germany. I gave no info, nothing at all. I just paid with Lightning. They didn't ask for anything except for an email they can create just for that. What do they know about you? They know nothing. I mean, it's insane. So yeah, once you do that, it just bounces off there. Really, it's just like it's a way to obfuscate your IP. That's the main thing.
So if you do it this way, you can hide it with VPNs,
Yes.
basically, rather than going through Tor, which is
Oh, yeah.
super private. But,
Exactly.
so much easier.
There's a third option, really. You could actually set it up with a VPN on your own router, but that's more advanced for people who have a router where you can flash a different OS on, like OpenWRT or pfSense. I don't know if you guys have heard about it.
No, I'm learning here.
Okay. Yeah. If you don't know about routers, this is a whole other talk. But yes, I mean, routers, the router you get from your internet service provider is really not private. They can filter everything. They can use your data. They can, if you're not using, like, for example, HTTPS, if you access different things, it goes in the clear. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. They can actually see a lot more than you think. And they can actually remotely log into your router. If you call and say, I have an issue with my router, something's happening, they can actually reset it, change settings. How do they do that? I mean, they're going in there. They have the possibility. There is a back door. So if you take your router and just toss it out the window, and then get a real router, let's say, where you can install a different operating system, which we're also bringing to the market. We're bringing a router as well, pretty soon. We've designed a router OS, which is similar to StartOS, that will work hand in hand with your server. You're going to be able to access everything, do it all point and click, do all the connections, and it's all private, really locked down. Nobody can see anything. Yeah, our main thing is being sovereign, no breaches in privacy at all. That's the main thing for us. Oh, yeah. Yes.
I assume you have the app store is just a bunch of open source projects that you build those big configurations for.
Yeah.
How hard is it to install something that's not on the list?
If it's not on the list, it has to be packaged for the system. Yes. Most of the things that are made for StartOS are on the marketplace. Some of them that are still on testing, because we actually test everything before it gets deployed. That's very important for us. We live and breathe making sure everything works fine before it's being deployed. And that thing is something we do very, very intensely. If you want to package something for StartOS, or you're a fan of open source project, you just contact that developer and say, the more people that do this, the better, of course. We want it for StartOS, we want it for Start9. They would actually just need to take their software, package it for our system. But then we would actually test it internally and then upload it to our marketplace once everything is working smoothly.
From a sovereignty perspective, could you override that as the
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without jumping the ball, but
I mean, that's the thing about open source. You can actually fork anything, do whatever you want.
I get that, but is it necessary
No. The main thing is going to be just the way it's packaged. Yeah. Hmm. Yes.
Do you know when NOS will be added to the regular community?
Once the new version comes out, the main reason why it was on the community registry is because it's both core and NOTs have the same software ID, since they use the same block space within our hard drive. And then if you access the blockchain, it was a pain. So we had to separate them. There's no way of having them both on the same on our previous software. Yes, but now it's going to be on the same one. You can choose one or the other. You can switch between them fast. I mean, it's going to be, yeah. Of course. A lot of people thought that we were trying to push you towards core because it was only on our main. The only reason was because it couldn't actually coexist. It would crash, and it was insane. So, yeah. Yeah, no issue. Any more questions? I mean, there's a lot to digest here, really. It's only a start, because really, if you are interested in this, you can always go to our website, go to our documentation. We're starting to come out with more interactive videos, things like that, explaining everything step by step, because actually, this can go very deep. You can do a lot of things with this. Yes? Yes. As I mentioned before, there's two things. There's the community forum, as well as a chat on Matrix. The chat on Matrix is a paid service, because we have people staffing it actively. They will answer you right away, like insanely fast. I mean, there's actually people on shift. You can actually speak to Okin, speak to myself. We all are on shift. We take like 3-hour shifts every once in a while. And yeah, we're all on there. And if not, if you go to the community forum, then once we get to it, we answer. It's pretty fast as well, but it's not live. Yes. Yes, that place is pretty, we police it really harshly. Yes, that's why we went away from Telegram. Telegram was insane. There was a lot of people trying to impersonate us. They would copy our username, they would copy our picture, and they would actually take people away into DMs. We had to cut it off because it was too much. Yeah, because Telegram is a cesspool of scammers. So don't really trust what you see on Telegram. I can tell you that much, yes. That's important to know. Yes, and especially the community forum, but especially the one on Matrix, that's hosted by us. And anybody that gets in there, we really police it. If you try to spam anything or you do anything weird, we'll kick you out. I'm sorry about that, but yes, we can't have that. There's no, yes, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I guess you guys will have to digest this. You can always contact me or go to the website or do anything you want. I mean, it's a lot to digest, yes.
Guys, please give him all. Thank you, Cryptosquid. This was actually so informative because this is a logical progression of how we move forward as Bitcoiners and semi-tech savvy people. So how do we keep our data secure? Because you know, that thing of you will own nothing and you'll be happy, keep renting forever, is keep renting your data storage forever, right? Like at some point we've got to put an end to that. At some point we have to do that. And it's just becoming easier and easier. So with products like Start9 and what they're doing here, we can just find an old computer and start there, right? Or we start buying the products or buy from them on the website.
There's always the option. That's the thing. I mean, we provide it as a free and open source system. It's a gift to the world, really.
It's really amazing. Thank you so much to Start9 and Cryptosquid. Appreciate that.